with week 8. And we're closing in on double digits and everything. I can't believe we're closing in on double digits. Week 8, I am your host, Jay Chadwell. With me, as always, Logan, the mastermind of life.
You're really...
Dude,
funny enough, still better than your crappy Spider-Man one from last time. Somehow, that was not as bad as that.
I don't know. That was sweet. But,
yeah, sweet. That's what I was thinking the entire time.
We want to first off thank everybody for your continued support. We keep on growing. Every episode we release is the fastest growing episode.
We do?
We do.
I didn't know.
That's true.
You do everything on the podcast, so yeah, that's all. I would know nothing.
You don't know the analytics. Yeah. We just surpassed like 500 views on YouTube throughout our channels and everything, which we got like a YouTube sent us like a special congratulations kind of thing with that. So
so funny. I didn't see that.
We're all,
I'm going to need to sign some legal documents about this being at least having 20%. As soon as we get like 10,000, Jay's like, and there's this new co-host who's willing to do it for 5%.
You're literally just sitting in the lobby. I never show up, and all of a sudden there's a new podcast the next day.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are officially on YouTube's radar because they sent us.
We're not on YouTube. You stop
everything
right
to do with the algorithm that it has together. But
that is a completely automated service. You're not on their radar.
Are the next big thing is what I see of that.
One of us believes that really strongly, people.
Yeah, I know that is. So we'll just touch on your health and well-being right now, your voice, with everything that's going on. Do you want to explain to our listeners what you got?
Yeah, I started getting sick last Wednesday, and I've just coughed myself hoarse, so if my voice sounds terrible, if I cough, if I have the sniffles, I apologize. I also did a 3-hour podcast with Jacob Carpenter yesterday. Thank you for having me out. Had a really good time. Jake's got a really good setup, and funny enough, it was pretty much just the first 30 minutes were just a glowing review of Jay Chadwell and everything, all the greatness that he is and or does in his life. So
that wouldn't take more than a half hour. That's pretty much cap out what that does.
Jake wants on, by the way.
We can do that.
Jake wants on here. Yeah, he's which in our goal to eventually have more people, which by the way, I still don't think those people should only come on in segments. Like, I'm talking 15, 30 minutes, you're out.
Here's I 100% agree with you. And I was going to talk to you about it a little bit later, but you already brought it up, so I'll talk about it now. Aunt Gail, a segment of an Aunt Gail story every other week that she tells one of her stories. Have you heard any of her stories, like her going to New Mexico?
Couple.
Like, one story is she was getting a parking, like she got so many parking tickets that she was getting towed.
And literally, it's just funny. It was like
she threw herself on the car. As it was
I listened to that story.
That's so. That's why, and I'm like, this isn't live. So if you mess up or something, we can just array. And she's adamant about she didn't want to do it, but I'm going to release.
A Tim basketball story would be a good one.
Tim basketball story would be great. I think we need to have a debate, like a 20-minute debate, Logan segment every week, just a different guest every week.
Oh, I'm so game for that. You pull a topic and just play moderator.
My only fear is, do I have a mute button? That's going to be what I need.
No, I can control myself.
No, I don't mean that. I mean you and whoever just talking back and forth.
That'd be great.
If I have, hold on, let me look.
Man, this is great air right here. You search.
Here. Hey Logan, how you doing? Oh. Yep.
I can't do it. That first of all, we just gave you too much power, and second of all, I couldn't do because you would have edited it what I wanted to do, which is something that is not nonverbal.
I would only mute if you two just started screaming at each other and I gotta regain control. That would be the only reason I would do it.
I can tell you this: one beautiful freedom that I had on Jake's podcast that I do not have here was the ability to say the poop word. Yeah, see?
The poop word that starts with an S?
Yeah, I could say stuff like that and not have to worry about you editing it out.
Oh, when
It's
they
a small
say, hey,
freedom.
When your bosses say, we're going to have to let you go because of the podcast, you're going to be like, Jay's in mine, and they're going to be like, no, he does a phenomenal job editing. And then you're going to know at that point, so whatever.
Jay,
so,
you also are under the assumption that anyone's really listening.
Dude, YouTube thinks so, because we're the next big thing.
I love YouTube. Let's go. So I told Jake, I was like, Jake, why? He was like, you don't listen very much? I was like, dude, I don't even open Spotify ever.
Yeah.
Like, I listened, yeah.
I mean, we got some views on Spotify. We got several followers on Spotify, but YouTube's definitely our bigger audience.
It's the biggest thing in the world for a reason.
Especially when you're doing a video. Like a video podcast. I feel like YouTube's more of it, so.
Yeah.
So yeah, sports. I got a couple topics I'm really, really excited with Logan again too. But we'll start with the NBA playoffs because that's what's going on right now. You text me over the weekend that you're like, pretty much said I was right from a couple weeks back when I said when do we call Anthony Edwards the best in the league? And it's freaking coming.
Yeah, we're still not there. Let's make that really clear. But I think fourth is 100% there, in my opinion.
Who do you got? You got Jokic, Luka,
and probably still
healthy Giannis.
Giannis, okay. Yeah, healthy Giannis is still, Kareem level.
Who would round out your top five? You think?
I've never been a huge Embiid guy personally. A lot of these guys are. Dude, we're seeing
I'm so sorry to interrupt you. Embiid, did you see the video of him shooting quote unquote fadeaways out of bounds and running into a security guard?
Yeah, he's a too. Dude, you know what it is though? He's super competitive though too, which I like. Like he's got that kind of mentality. So here's my thing. We are, and this was a really good thing to think about. Curry, Durant, and LeBron James are all out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
And it's the second round. We are literally seeing a generational shift before our eyes.
Dude, me and you are still on the same page right now. It's unbelievable how much we're on the same page right now.
Yeah, and it's kind of breathtakingly amazing because for the last... For the last 9 years, those three have completely dominated the league.
Maybe more, yeah.
And, because Curry didn't really come in until... you could say Durant.
You mean those three specifically, not one or the other. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And, I don't know if you saw it, but, so many NBA games over the last however many years have X amount or more views. They're all Steph Curry games.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's so he I don't think he gets enough credit. I'm a Steph stan, so. KD was winning an MVP back in 2013, 2012.
Yeah.
And LeBron was going through his Miami run at that point. So, I mean, it's pretty hard to say that anyone except those three. And now Jokic has got one. You've got your occasional one-off in there. Dude, my voice is struggling. I'm so sorry if it sounds bad. I'm going to be taking a while to drink some water.
It sounds great. It really doesn't sound as bad as I think you think it does.
By the end of this 90 minutes, I'm going to be...
I'm going to be talking more than we have ever had me talk on the podcast.
Yeah. So anyway, but I guess it wasn't clicking with me how young Edwards was for some reason. I knew he was young, but then I looked at it and I was like, wow, he's 22.
Yeah.
And he's got a lot more to prove. I didn't realize he was as good of a shooter. I thought he was just an athletic freak and a super competitor. Because admittedly, I don't watch as much as I used to. Because when I get involved in basketball, I just dive in, and it's a bad thing for my life. So, yeah, he's easily four. He makes somebody like Devin Booker or Tatum to me. Like you guys are supposed to be the next faces, and you're not even close.
Dude, Tatum might be... I'm probably going to get heat for saying this. Tatum might be the most overrated player in the league right now.
I'd take him over Booker.
I would too, but the reason I'm saying this is they're saying he is the next Durant.
No.
He is.
I've never felt that way. I don't know what it is about him either, but I've never even felt close to that way personally.
No, that's why I agree.
Luka's not that much. Well, you know what I mean? I mean, he had a great start. He's a rookie or a second year dunking on LeBron in the conference finals and stuff like that. Like, he's been good for a while, but I just think he doesn't have that next gear that, like, a Luka definitely has. Like, is it, having said that, he averaged 27 on the best team in the league through the regular season by far. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where it goes. But that's, that was my next point. You've already touched on it. All leading scorers on the 8 teams remaining are age 29 or lower. Nobody's in their 30s.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and Jokic is actually the oldest at 29. And the fact that you look at Jokic and the fact that he's only 29 is like he looks like he's 45.
I think they're gonna lose. By the way,
no
I can't believe I'm
Timberwolves
saying that.
Way better than them.
I can't believe I'm saying that but with Murray a little hampered, they're just thinner this year. They don't have who I really thought would take a next step because he just showed up all year last year was that white kid they got. His name's Braun, that rookie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought he was going to show up and keep improving and be kind of like an Austin Reeves level player because he looked so good. I just don't think, I said it at the beginning, but did Jokic kind of go through a Nowitzki run where Nowitzki clearly there's one point of his career where he played incredibly better than he ever did throughout the rest of his career? And will that be Jokic? Where Jokic's current is still insane, but last year was just like, you're one of the top 5 players of all time. That level of thing. And so is the rest of his career potentially, unless they double down and he really has that fight in him and they come back and stuff like that, is the rest of his career you're definitely a top 25 guy. But last year, he looked like one of the 4 greatest big men to ever play, potentially. Yeah, 4 or 5,
His run last year was very, to me, and Jess and I just talked about this past weekend, Dirk-esque, if you will. Like, not same style, but just that, put it all together for one playoff run. And when Dirk did that... I
literally just said that, didn't I?
No, I don't think you said Dirk, but maybe you did.
I did say Dirk. I literally just said... I literally just said... I've said that Dirk thing 5 times on this podcast.
Well, then the proof is going to be there, or it's not going to be there. One of the two. But
hold on. Hold the phone. That is proof that you don't listen to me.
I can't understand you half the time right now with your squeaky voice.
I don't want to hear it. It's not that bad. Suddenly you can't hear me.
Dude, no, if you said that, I really do apologize. But that run that Dirk went on is, I agree. Like, they put it all together for whatever reason. And you're right. What if he doesn't have another run like that? Will he ever be? But
Dirk is still one of the 25 best guys to ever play.
Yeah, but he scored so many. Yeah.
That year he was the best player by leaps and bounds, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't believe that just happened.
I can't believe it is either. If you said that, I would be really embarrassed. But I can't like that. And again, we've talked about that too. Is maybe it was more of a choke for LeBron and that Miami squad than it was for the Mavs.
Oh, it was. It was. Don't let LeBron slide.
That Western Conference Finals.
He was unbelievable.
Dirk was unreal.
Yeah.
I think, with all 8 remaining teams, their leading score being 30 or 29 or under, it is a shift of power. Like last year, the Nuggets won, and Murray and Jokic were young, but it didn't feel like,
they've been around for a while.
Right. This year, it's like it's changed. And maybe it's good for the Olympics. Like, all these old guys are going to get rest before the Olympics now. 9 of our 12 roster spots are out.
I don't think LeBron James has any business starting for Team USA in the Olympics.
Wow.
I mean, he will because he's LeBron James, but I mean, of our 5 players, like, I don't see it, but that's just me personally. He doesn't, like, he gets so passed on for how little defense he plays now, and you can't do that at the highest level.
No, especially with those the Olympic rules, how they are.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. The other international teams are good, obviously. I mean, they're world class, but like, they don't have like Luka. You know, how many teammates does Luka have that's actually in the NBA? And how
Imagine
many
if,
Jokic
but
have?
imagine, let's just say all they had, and then you got 3 seventh men from the NBA are the next 5. Okay.
Yeah.
And your number 1 and 2 are Jokic and Luka.
Yeah, but they're not on the same team.
I'm just saying how little it would take probably to get us. They had Jokic and Luka, and then 3 seventh men. Let's think of a set like 3 Austin Reeves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a decent starter in the NBA. Which, I mean, we're bringing all superstars. They would fear that team with a passion.
Dude, here's something else, and again, it's like every time the Olympics come around, the United States puts together their quote unquote best roster and calls it like the revenge team or whatever. But like the last Olympic team that was really like at that level, like that you like wanted to turn them on and they were going at everybody
2008.
with no fear. And who was their leader?
Kobe.
Exactly. Who do we have on this squad that is a Kobe Bryant type mentality?
No one. And hopefully, but he's 22. Can't be Edwards.
No, it can't.
Nobody, I mean, Edwards worships Durant for some reason. But LeBron's not that guy. Like, if you watch, like, and, you know, I knew a lot of that stuff before the Netflix documentary, but, like, Wade talks about it. He's like, no, we come in from the club and Kobe's working out, and it's 3 and 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And then they start doing that because of him. Oh, by the way, what happens the year after that Olympics? LeBron really takes a step.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous how much better. People like to say it's like LeBron's been the best player in the league since he basically came in the league, and it's like, nah, Kobe was probably the best until 10.
Yeah.
Easily.
I agree. I mean, he with that Lakers squad that he won with, I mean, Powell, don't act like Powell was what LeBron had as a running mate.
Oh, no. No.
That's what I'm saying.
It's ridiculous. You know, one player used to play with Kobe that I waited to take a step, and I don't know if it was just knee issues or big guy or too young, but Andrew Bynum I thought was going to be great.
Yeah, he never made... Dude, did you ever see after... I'm sure you did. When Shaq got traded, where did he go afterwards? I don't remember.
Miami.
Was it Miami? And
he won a championship with Wade.
Yeah, and then like Shaq...
Bynum came... and then Bynum comes the other side, dunks, and then comes back down and just forearm shoves him. Kid has a death wish. Like,
dude, Shaq is the most intimidating basketball player that's ever lived.
It's unbelievable. It's like he's psychotic. Like that's the only thing that like stops me with like Jokic, and it's like what would Shaq do against him? But I also like I watched Hakeem tear Shaq apart. So I mean, it goes both ways.
You know, and I'm sitting here thinking as we're talking Shaq, obviously their show on TNT is so good, and they might TNT might lose NBA rights, and I think I know who we're going to get as our next co-host is Charles Barkley said he's a free agent, so I think we bring him on ours.
Barkley also, I don't think we can afford him. Barkley also he's going to retire. He's going to be gone another couple of years. He's done.
Yeah, you got to think he's probably close to 60 now. No, he's probably mid-50s. Is he older? He's about the same age as Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's probably mid-50s.
61.
Dang, he is 60? Wow.
So is Jordan. So they're both 61. Yeah, we're getting old, brother.
Yeah, no kidding. So Steph Curry, Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant, LeBron, Embiid is your starters or projected starters.
Yeah.
and then you have Booker. Jimmy Butler is probably the most like that.
Dog, yeah.
He's coming off the bench. Davis, Bam, Bridges, and then Halliburton and your boy Zion.
Where's Edwards?
He's not on it. Did I not say that? Or
no,
was he the last? Okay, so he's the backup. He's a backup option.
He ain't coming off the bench.
No, he's not even on the roster unless somebody says
he'll be on. He'll be on the roster.
So did they? Who did they not take? Halliburton?
Don't take LeBron. I don't care.
Yeah, apparently the backup options at guard are Edwards, Young, and Garland. And then forwards are Brown, Draymond Green. Hell
no.
I don't know.
Young who?
Trae Young.
He's I
don't even know. I mean, Butler's the most like that mindset, but it's almost like he's too much like that, where he's delusional at times.
That group, honestly, with what you just said.
He's hurt. He's probably the one that's not playing. That's probably Edwards' spot.
He'll probably play.
You think
so?
I
would imagine. Yeah, it's far enough out. Embiid is the one who shouldn't play.
Dude, it's only in July. It's like 2 months away.
If Embiid should not play.
Man. I don't know, man. I just don't think we have anybody with that mentality.
I think it's the Sixers. I still think it's the Celtics to lose, by the way.
Dude, I don't see how they lose the East. And again,
no chance.
The Cavs, I don't think are going to have anything for them.
I think Edwards
the Knicks are probably the closest to them.
They have no chance.
I'm not saying they will. I'm saying they're the best of the next three out of the Cavs, Knicks, and Pacers. Yeah, I think that, and whoever comes out of the West is going to be beat up. They're going to probably play another 4 or 5 more games than the Celtics are going to play.
The Nuggets if the Wolves win, they're literally going to go. Imagine the Nuggets. It's Lakers, Wolves, OKC.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
Yeah, it's rough. I mean, the West is
loaded. Yeah, which is once again why second place or getting to the finals doesn't matter, because we're probably watching the finals or 2 of the best 3 teams 100% right now.
4 of the best 5 teams left are in the West.
Yes,
and then you would throw the Celtics into that mix.
They're the only one. Yeah,
are the other Eastern Conference.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree. So we'll see. But again, I think Edwards is shooting up that list. I mean, he just.
Oh my gosh.
He is. So
he's got me. He's got me for the first time, and I'm so happy. It's as LeBron is exiting. It's like, can this guy just come in? He's the first person I've ever wanted to be like, be Mike, be better than Mike, do it, because LeBron will be forgotten about so quickly. I will never have to hear that crap again. So
you think it's like if Edwards gets to that point in the next 3 years, it then becomes a GOAT debate of Edwards versus Jordan.
I'm gonna be like, if he just let's just imagine in a world, right? He's averaging 30 a game, and they
win
the next.
Which is not out of the realm of possibilities with that dude.
Easily, I think that's his. Dude. So I started looking up Jordan stats, and I started looking at Jordan stats at 22, and what I'm looking for, he's got to go ballistic next year if he wants to go Jordan pace. Because Jordan's second year, he broke his ankle, but the year after that, when he was 23, it was the year he averaged 37.
Yeah.
Now, do I think he's going to average 37? No. Do I think it's good for him to average 37? No. But if he gets like 33, between 33 and 35, my ears are just going to go, what? And let's just say they just win 3 in a row and he's 25. Let's say they win this year and he's just...
And he retires and plays baseball.
Oh, I hope he does. Oh my God, I would lose it.
Dude,
I'll move to Minnesota. The second coming, yeah.
Oh, that would be so great. Let's talk on Scotty Scheffler real quick. I know he's not going. You just read that he's not going to play, but he is after the Masters. He's won 4 of his 5 last starts. Now he obviously is the only one that can do the Grand Slam this year. But
he has to play in it, which is next week.
Yeah. So, is it next week or the week after? I think it's the week after. Because you're going
Yeah, I'm going. It's next Thursday. So it's Monday right now. It's 16th of May. Next Thursday is the first day of the PGA Championship. Louisville in Valhalla.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so, by the way, do you want to address that you totally messed up what a Tiger Slam was, or are we just going to...
I did not mess it up. I understand everything completely. I'm sorry that you can't wrap your mind around it.
Dude, you said Tiger won the Grand Slam and that it's called the
Tiger Slam.
So anyway,
in other golf news, I won, my team won. I was not the best player, so that needs to be stated. The Derby Scramble of Buttermilk this past weekend.
I'm sure you guys brought in some ringers.
Well, no, you draw random teams.
I'm just saying. You started to say that like you went down to Louisville to play in some scramble in the Derby. And then you're like, that buttermilk. And I'm not saying there's not good people there, because there obviously is, but the way you presented that, I thought you were...
There's some very... Dude, like... That's what he wants.
Sure, there are good people. Like, Colin Macro is really good. Sounds are good. You're obviously good. I'm
okay.
I'm saying the way you started that sentence, you're like, the Derby Scramble. I'm like, I didn't realize you went to Louisville. Like, that's what I thought you were saying. And then you're like...
Anyway, I won a little bit of money and had a good time, and we really blew everybody out. And, anyway, I was just really happy about that. I wanted to announce it. So, yeah.
Okay, well, we were going to touch on Scotty Scheffler. We'll come back to that, because what you just said makes me want to talk about what I was going to talk about. And I told you I'm really excited about it. Yeah. So... I saw a video today, and it was slow pitch softball. And they're arguing over a 3-1 count or a 2-2 count, to the point that they start fighting, like physically fighting. Rec league, like slow pitch softball, and rec league basketball, these men's league that you are paying to play. It's not like if we win the tournament, we win money. Okay, well, you would have saved that amount of money if you would have just kept it in your pocket. I want to get your opinion on these mindset of these guys that take these, especially slow pitch softball, but rec basketball is bad enough at times, that are putting this, like, these sports, like, okay, World Series, NBA, World Championship.
Yeah, these are the same people that raise bad kids who end up being bad athletes. Like, it's absolutely...
That's a bold statement.
Well, I meant, like, personality-wise, like, bad, like, sore losers, that are sore winners and whatever, and... Yeah, man, it's just...
Do you think that video of that little kid and the big kid that are, like, doing the too short thing? And,
dude, there's, like...
their dads were... rec league all-stars.
I said it. I said this. I said I would, if I was their coach and somebody did that at practice the first day, I'd be like, all right, like, how long do you need to run until you never do that again? Like, how long? 2 hours? 3 hours? 5 practices? You're going to quit the team? Like, you'll never do that again. Like, ever for the... when you get paid millions of dollars to play the game of basketball, you can do it.
Do whatever you want.
Until then, yeah.
Throw a ball at somebody like Pat Bev.
Dude, you want to talk about just, oh my God, dude, I don't have the
fact that he
voice
called
to
it
get
back,
this.
too, after he just hit a woman in the face, is just so incredibly unbelievable. He's like,
I don't have the voice.
And then the guy threw the ball back for some odd reason. And then
I've been in that situation, you just throw the ball back. You know what I'm thinking about?
Lawsuit.
Yeah.
But, that level, lawsuit. But, like, again...
Dude, I think he should be suspended for, like, half a year.
At least.
Yeah. Somebody was like, maybe 10 games is too much. I'm like, no. Get him out of the league. Like, who is Pat Beverly?
What does he bring? What does he bring to the court?
Nothing. Dude, I want you to know something. If our podcast ever makes it big, it's not going to. But if our podcast ever makes it big...
I would still talk to everybody.
if I was like, do you subscribe to my pod? I don't really want to talk to you right now.
It's unreal.
Shoot me in the head. Shoot me in the head, because I have become something that I hate. Oh my god! It just like I couldn't. If I was the Milwaukee Bucks, I couldn't have released him fast enough.
Dude, I saw the headline that says Pat Bev throws the ball at the fan. I'm like, okay. Like, you know how headlines are like attention grabbers, and they're like it's not as bad as what the headline says. I'm like, throws a ball at the fan. Come on. And then I clicked on it and I'm like, oh my gosh.
He threw a ball at the fan. Dude, there's a little girl right below that guy, too. Like, I don't know, dude. And I mean, a lot of like people that I like have done really stupid stuff. Barkley spit on a little girl. It was an accident, you know what I mean? He didn't mean to, but he spit on a little girl once. And it's just, I don't know, dude. I couldn't tell you what it is. What I will say about the dads at slow pitch and bat, like, get out of here, dude. Like, dude, I literally will not play anymore just 'cause I'm afraid to get injured. And these dads are pulling hammies over second place in the Ogden League. And it's like, how sad is the rest of your life that's like one of the things you get so pumped up about? Like, I get pumped up about.
Like, Dad pulled his hamstring when we were playing we played in those slow pitch for fundraisers. Like, it's what we would do. And Dad pulled his hammy, and we talk about it as a funny story. We don't talk about it as like, dude, we would have won it all.
We would have won, yeah. Yeah, like, I get it. I enjoy, but, like, I still like to be competitive, and somebody would like,
absolutely.
Logan, look at how much you talk about golf. It's like, dude, I go out to golf, and, like, maybe twice a year I will take it serious. And when I take it serious, it's not like I'm like, why would you talk in my backswing? I like getting angry and stuff like that.
Right.
Like, I've never had that kind of, I don't know, dude, maybe it's just like I've lost all my testosterone, but like I just don't get angry anymore.
Dude,
I don't know what it is.
Fighting over a 3-1, 2-2, and you could tell it was like
fighting at all. How many times have I ever been in a physical altercation? The numbers are so low.
It's just not worth it. But
no, actually, I don't know that I ever have.
I don't know if I ever have either. Which, as mouthy as I am, is kind of crazy. Yeah, so getting in fights over and you see it like, I don't know. I played rec softball for a while, and I played a lot, like 2 summers in a row. But again, it's because I enjoyed it. Like, I didn't do it for anything but other than that. But it got to the point where we were starting to play some pretty good people. And I played shortstop and third base where I would play on this team. And there was this dude that, like, throughout the tournaments was just bombing. Like, with those bats and those balls anymore, like, bombing 400 foot homers. And he went to go swing when I was at third, and I was playing in the grass. And he missed it and hit it towards me. It was by me before I could react. And I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. This is stupid.
Chad McKibben was one of those guys that took and played a lot of serious slow pitch and stuff like that. And that's what he said. He was like, dude, it was like, ball went right by my head, my glove never moved. I was like, nope, I'm done. Yeah, you take that to the face, you're done.
Yeah. Your life is altered if you're not dead.
Ended, yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, dude, I can pinpoint the moment I stopped playing pickup basketball. I was just starting to gain weight. I probably only got into like 220, and my playing weight was 200. I put on 20 pounds, right? Yeah. And I was playing defense, and for the first time, I was sliding to my left, and I planted because he was crossing over, and there was just nothing there on my leg, and I just went down. And I remember thinking to myself, it's like, dude, if I had pushed off, I think I would have blew out my knee.
Right.
And I just didn't push off, and I just allowed myself to. It's almost like there was literally that much of like, it happened that slow in my head where I was like, ooh, something's not right, and I'm just falling.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I got up, my knee was hurting a little bit, but I could still play and stuff like that. But literally, after that, I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm not tearing my ACL, I'm not blowing out my Achilles. And then I have too many other things in my life. And then really being screwed.
Yeah, but again, you and I got guilty of it just now too. We're talking about injuries with this. I'm talking about people that like, well, let me
because they're
pay a
mad
$50
about
entry fee to treat this like it's a World Series. and you see videos like it on all the time, like yelling at yelling at other players. I'm like, how is this like?
Dude,
how
if
is
you're
this
one
a
of those
thing?
people, I've seen AAU dads try to fight refs and stuff like that.
Parents
Dude,
at AAU is just as bad. It's the same level.
if you're
They're
if you're
probably the
one
same
of those people, you probably should put your children up for adoption for a better family. I think that's probably the best, because you're a terrible person who's setting a terrible example.
Yeah, the example's not great. I would say that there's more often than not, those are the same people, the people that are fighting AAU refs and the people that are fighting each other at slope and softball. Yeah, I just wanted your opinion on it. I didn't really have a point to bring that up just because I wanted your opinion.
This does kind of lead great into my dad thing.
Yeah, we can talk about that because I wanted to ask you about, kind of handling your kids' navigation through sports. And I will say that this weekend was my niece's first birthday.
Oh, yeah?
So,
congratulations.
Saturday morning, we went to Jess's oldest. He's now in baseball.
Awesome.
So I went to watch my first 4-year-old baseball game, which was just about as good as you think it was going to go.
5-year-old soccer's just as bad, trust me.
I thought that, and again, you can touch on what you want to touch on, but I thought that Jess's kid's coach was probably the better of the two, and he was just like high energy, like everybody gets a turn, everybody gets a job, which at that age you need to do. And I thought the whole crowd was like very like cheering, but it'll be interesting to see at what age does it go from, hey, everybody's
8.
great.
8.
Okay, touch on what you got here.
So, 2 things. My daughter's played fall and... Oh, you muted yourself. Okay. My daughter's played fall and now she's in spring soccer. She hasn't been very good. She didn't play like the first year that she could have played, so I'm pretty gentle on her. First organized sport. 2 things. 1, I think leagues need to do a better job of making sure that coaches they need to look for the best possible coaches. So for that age of soccer, on the list of things, it's like experience in soccer, experience in coaching or education with young children, and then just, good people. People are going to have a high vibe. But that's kind of your tier list, right? Mm-hmm. Both seasons, my daughter's coaches, like, I'll never make the mistake of just not coaching stuff again. Not that they're not good people and they didn't try, but, the first year, and I love this family, they're great, but they looked right at me and was like, yeah, we're not really soccer people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, if you're not really soccer people, then you should probably let somebody who's coached young children, like, you'd never done it before. They were just coaching their kid for the first time.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt, but just to briefly, because I've done it as a varsity coach trying to find youth coaches, it is tough to find youth coaches. People do not want to do it.
I have no doubt. The second year, it's the same thing, and somebody would say, well, it's a 5-year-old practice. I'm like, you can still organize it well enough and not just let them run around.
Learn basics.
And make sure they understand when you blow the whistle, everything stops.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like a real sense of order and stuff like that, and that's what I've never seen so far, right? So, but this isn't me bashing on the coaches, because, those people were taking time out of their day. Hell, they're at the practices and at more games than I am, right? Like, let's just be honest about it.
Yeah.
But I do think that it is. Listen, I truly believe, and it's kind of my family thing. It's like, listen, if we do something, we're gonna do it to be 100%. We're gonna do it as hard as we can, right? Yeah. And we're going to keep everything in proper perspective, right? So, like, Brooklyn's not the worst player on her team, but she's also not good even for her age.
Not
so,
like,
and no, not just not the best. She's not good.
I was trying to lessen the blow. What you were saying.
Oh, buddy, if you just wait, you see where this is going. So, like, and I use this example. He's the same age as Brooklyn, and he kills it in that league. He can score 8 goals a game, right? Like, he just,
Gordon Bombay.
one of those. Gordon Bombay. Yeah, exactly. But, like, as I'm watching him, and obviously he's 5 years old, but I just know the statistics in my head, right? He'll never play college soccer. Just based on statistics of, how many people from Georgetown have ever gone and played college soccer.
Division One? Or are you talking?
Small
There's
division.
been a couple kids do Division 3.
But I'm saying a couple. Like, that's kind of my point. Like,
chances are not great, yes.
Chances are not great, right? So if you are not even a Division 3 soccer player, you're just a good soccer player. And then I would say if you're a decent high school soccer player, that, in my opinion, is the bar for mediocrity. Like, that's the minimum you should be if you are a halfway decent athlete and truly commit yourself and play hard.
Especially at Georgetown.
Right. And so that's kind of my level, right? So I was trying to get my, like, everybody was like, she made a mistake during this game. A really big mistake. First of all, they're not allowed to have goalies, which is the stupidest bleeping rule I've ever had in my life. The thing that I worked with her the most on last year, because I was like, all right, well, you're clearly not, I'm not going to get you here next year. I teach you how to use your hands. I really do that, right? So they took that away. So she's doing a goal kick, and she whiffed, basically, but she kind of just touched the ball. The other team got it and scored. And all the other parents were like, it's okay. We thought it was a dead ball. It's okay. And I'm over there like, to not make her feel better. Like, the worst two words in the English language are good job.
Yeah.
Like,
sometimes
listen,
you're right.
Listen, I've talked about it, that I have had, I try to have very honest and real and emotionally intelligent conversations with my daughter. So she had the worst game she'd ever played. Normally she's significantly better than this, let's put it that way. And she's like, I had to pee the whole time, and she just wasn't in it. She kept putting her hands behind her back because she heard her coach yell that at somebody in the goal. I mean, terrible. Didn't run as hard as she could. Like, it was bad.
Didn't want to be there.
Right. Didn't want to be there. She's 5. She's about to turn 6. I get it. I left, and I drove separately. We left, and I said, hey, she's coming with me.
Worst thing you could have done in that situation. You should have let her go with Emily and cooled yourself off.
So I told her, I said, hey, how do you think you did? And she said, I think I did good. And I said, you didn't. I am totally ready for this hate.
You didn't. You did.
You did, yeah.
There's your first wrong answer.
I said that was the worst game that I've ever seen you play. And we talked about it and everything, and we went through the whole kid and caboodle, and I really talked to her about doing 100%, staying focused, and, things that winners do, because she gets scared, and I'm like, winners don't get scared. Like, you know what I mean? I had 4 things that I thought winners do. I was trying to beat into her head, and we're talking about it, and I said, okay, listen, you didn't play very hard during the game. Guess what we're going to do when we get back home? We're going to go play hard.
Yeah.
And we went into my mom's backyard, and we practiced for an hour and a half. The first 30 minutes of that, I might have made her do some sprints. She was fantastic through the entire thing. She, came out more empowered. Me and her have been closer ever since. It was in the rain. We practiced for an hour and a half, and we practiced hard. And I was very demanding. And I obviously was treating my 5-year-old daughter eloquently, but she had never been challenged that way. Let's put it that way.
Right.
And but it's so funny to me, because if I tell a lot of other parents and a lot of other hear that, I'm like, my God, why? How could you do that? It's so terrible. Dude, me and my daughter have been infinitely closer every minute since then.
Yeah.
Literally, she has wanted nothing to do but to be with me and to go work on stuff and do all this, and it has been significantly better. And her mindset, and she's so, and she wants to work and wants to keep getting better. So it's like, baby, I'm just not a fan of babying, dude. It's kind of, my dad once told me I had one of my best high school games ever, super pumped, and what he told me, all the things I did wrong. And I was like, Dad, he was like, no, you played good, but I'm not going to blow rainbows and butterflies up your ass.
Yeah.
Like, you could do better. You can improve on these things.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing to hold a child accountable. I don't. I mean, again, there's a study, and I'm going to totally butcher this. I'm sure, but you're not supposed to tell your kids good job. Like, you're supposed to ask them to reflect on what they just did, because if you give them, oh, you're so great, you're so perfect, you're so blah blah blah, by the time they get to adulthood,
they're going to think they're so great, so perfect. Yeah.
So they don't have to work at it. So I don't think it's bad to hold her accountable. But again, it has to be done in a productive way, which I'm sure you did that, because it seems like there's two extremes. There's AAU slow pitch softball parents fighting AAU refs.
No, but hold on. I think there's one difference about.
But I'm saying there's also
what I'm saying is
everybody's great and everybody's equal, and that's not the case either.
No, what I'm saying is I think there's a difference in between those guys doing it in the public forum versus working with their child individually and having those conversations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't do it in a crazy manner. Like, it's not like I was in the back and neighbors were like, oh my gosh, we got to call CPS on this guy. I looked around a few times. It's like, hey, you shut your window, old lady. Mind your business. Mind your business. She's going to be a winner. I'm sorry you're a loser. Like, yeah. But no, like, I did. I told her. I was like, that was the worst game we've ever played. And we talked about it, and I was like, Brooklyn, like, saying you have to pee, you're almost 6 years old. I was like, come on, like, let's go. Like, let's hold your pee for 16 minutes until...
get subbed out and pee and come back in.
Yeah. Something. Anything.
Don't
Anything other than that.
I agree.
Well, no, so my 4 things I told her, I was like, winners always work hard, winners never quit, winners don't use excuses, and winners are never scared.
Yeah.
That was like our 4 pillars, because that was like, she used the I have to pee as an excuse. She didn't work hard, and then when we were running some sprints together, she was wanting to quit, and I was like, no, winners don't quit. Let's go. And then scared is just she gets scared of same way. She just doesn't have very much aggressive to her. So
you think she gets that from you or Emily?
Me. At that age, I didn't really get aggressive with basketball until junior high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting because
I can't wait to see the hate that I get. I'm so excited.
I don't think you'll get a ton of hate. I mean, some
I'll get
will.
more than you think.
Some will.
Dude, we're raising a generation of soft, pampered babies, and I'm just I'm not here for it.
Yeah, but don't you think that's going to circle around, because we are starting to see how bad that is for society? That everybody.
No, dude, these people who are like that are just going to have children who are more soft and more pampered.
Yeah, but the generation in front of us wasn't like that. Our parents weren't like that. They come from a generation where they were tough, and their parents were. So do you think? Tell that to
my mom. My mom babied the crap out of me.
But she wasn't babied, is what I'm saying, when she was a kid.
Actually, she was telling me, because she was a supporter of it. She's like, get her. She's like, when you were that age, I'd do the same thing to you.
Yeah, your mom coaching you, I'm sure, was maybe not the most productive thing in the world. I don't know. What sports did she play in high school? She was probably an athlete.
She played basketball. Yeah, she was actually a pretty decent basketball player. She was she always talks about getting 20 rebounds against one school, because she's 5'10".
Was she a Georgetown grad?
Yeah. She I think Kelly was a senior when she was a freshman.
Kelly.
Benintendi.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, so she played under coach. She wasn't. I think she probably had a better career than my dad did.
Dude, don't you talk bad about Timmy Hayslip. I will not
Timmy
stand
Hayslip was
for
Timmy
any
Hayslip
Timmy
just like me.
Hayslip slander. So he was great.
2-year varsity starter.
So he was great.
Only junior that started the year he started.
So everybody else was seniors.
Yep.
They probably had they probably had 7 or 8 seniors.
Watch out, world. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not going to stand for it.
He broke his ankle earlier in senior year. So what could have been? He could have gotten 50 dropped by.
Could have won state. give me pigskin. I'll throw the
Give me
football over
pigskin,
that
throw it
mountain.
over that mountain. Yeah. Yeah. No, their team was garbage.
Dude, I would say as a coach, like what you're hitting on, like you hit on a lot of stuff that hits home with me, like youth, like it just. But when you get into the high school level, the hardest thing to do is have a collective unit that is truly there for each other. Because, and I'm not saying you did this. I'm just saying, like parents in general will go home and not necessarily they don't undermine the coach, but they want their kid to be the star. So it undercuts the coach in that mindset. And it's unbelievable because you will have practice for 2-3 hours, film sessions, whatever. And then at the dinner table, all that stuff can just be ripped away in one conversation. And it's rare anymore. And any parents that are listening to this, you need to know that it is rare anymore for parents to step back and let their kids navigate that by themselves. Figure out how to be a good teammate and figure out how to take criticism and praise and put that all together for the collective good of the whole. So, yeah, I agree with you.
Everybody wants to believe that they know best instead of it's like, hey, maybe the coach is actually there for a reason.
Yeah.
And it is very hard for, I'll be honest, I've already ripped my two coaches that they had. Ripped is a strong word. I was very supportive in the moment, but I just, I would have rather just coached them personally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I also probably, and once again, I have experience in that realm, and frankly, if anybody ever decides to finally let me coach, it'd be the best hire they ever make in their history of their hiring.
How close are you to Westchester? How close are you to Westchester?
It's so funny you say that because during Jake's podcast, we were talking about you, and I said, yeah, great hire from Lakota. I said the only other better hire they could have had was me.
You, yeah.
The only
Yep, that is a Logan thing, true and true.
Yep.
And Logan was there. Okay, let's just touch on Scotty Scheffler, and I want to touch on Scotty Scheffler. No, you're good. That was a great. That might have been our best fatherly advice conversation that we've had this whole episode or this whole string of episodes. So I was really good with that. So Scotty Scheffler has 2 wins in a row now. He's won 4 out of 5. Do you know who has the most wins in a row? I would be impressed if you knew this because I've never even heard of this guy.
Oh.
So it's not like Tiger, Jack. It's somebody I've never heard of. 1945 is when it was done. So I'd be impressed.
I think that's before Bobby Jones, isn't it?
It was before Bobby. I would assume so. Yes.
No, that's after Bobby Jones. Bobby Jones is like in the 20s.
I'd be impressed. I will be very impressed if you get this. I'll give you a first name even if you want to try it.
I'm not sure when he played. I'm probably not going to get it. I'm going to take a guess and then I'll ask her first name. Okay. Sam Snead?
Nope. Byron is the guy's first name.
Byron Nelson.
Very good. Yes, yeah. Byron Nelson.
Yeah, Byron Nelson.
1945, he won 11 in a row. The second most is Tiger with 7 wins in a row, and that was in 2006, 2007 is when he did that. And then Scotty has now won 4 out of 5 last 2. But what I want to touch on real quick is the women's side. Have you ever heard of the woman Nelly Korda? That's
I've heard of it. She won 5 in a row.
Yeah, she's won 5 in a row currently. She hasn't had a start since then. She's obviously number 1 in the women's. But my and again, I've touched on this a little bit of the NBA, the WNBA, and I don't know if you saw that there was kind of an uproar that Angel Reese's in the Chicago Sky weren't on the WNBA app. It was Caitlin Clark instead, which obviously, but they're didn't know why they didn't co-host it, have both of them available. So this woman that was at Chicago Sky's game went to Twitter and live streamed it. Guess how much her live stream got up to? This random woman, not anybody that's famous.
40,000.
3 million. 3 million.
What?
3 million hits on that live stream. I'm not saying all at one time.
Okay, I was thinking concurrent viewers.
I don't know what concurrent was. But still 3 million hits on that is incredible. So my question is this, because again, I just told you I have no idea who Nelly Korda is. Never heard of her. So I was just looking up Scotty Scheffler stuff, and I came across her name. Right now, the PGA is and Scotty Scheffler is making us better, don't get me wrong, but the PGA's viewership is 20% less than what it was this time last year.
Yeah, and I don't get it, and I don't know personally because...
Well, they said a lot of it has to do with Live Golf and PGA kind of splitting. But my question before you dive in is, how can the LPGA not capitalize on this like women's movement for sports, especially when they have somebody who is now tied for the most wins of all time?
I have a better question.
Okay.
You've never watched her. She's won 5 in a row.
Correct.
How many in a row would she have to win before you finally tuned in?
5. I would watch her next weekend because then she would be going for the record. But my point is how the LPGA is not just blowing up with this because they finally have this, especially with all this. But
women's sports just doesn't have the same traction, man. Like, it just doesn't. And it's that we've talked about it several times. There's a variety of different factors. I will say this. I think those viewership numbers for golf have to be messed up somehow because the Masters was down and all the Live guys played at the Masters. Yeah. So that's not why the viewership is down. And if you look at rounds played per year, they're up tremendously across golf courses across America. Yeah. If you look at kids, the younger generation, it's the fastest growing sport. So how do all of those things, and it's because kids are watching differently. Like, I watch way more YouTube golf and the guy like the Bryan Bros and Grant Horvat. You ever either heard of either one of them?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, I watch way more of them than I do the PGA Tour. Frankly, the PGA Tour is only on 4 days every week, and then most of the tournaments aren't like big tournaments. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So, like, I guess, and what you're saying is, I'm just kind of just brainstorming here, but like, why do people like Caitlin Clark? A, she's good, obviously.
It's how she plays.
Yeah,
that's what I've come around.
Well, you like watching Steph Curry because of how she plays.
And what did we just talk about? Steph, the most viewership over like the most like are his games. So there's something that is very appealing about the deep ball. I guess.
Yeah.
Hold on.
We're so on the same page right now.
Hold on. I'm starting to understand something. I bet you, which, let me look at something. I'm going to blow your mind.
Well, I'm going to ask you a question while you're looking it up. There's a famous saying in baseball that says, chicks what? Really? Chicks dig.
Oh, the long ball.
Yeah. So, like, a pitcher's duel, like, one hit each. I don't want to... A perfect game I would watch, but, like, 1-2 hits,
I want to see 10 home runs
a
piece.
See freaking bombs.
Yes.
I want to see.
So here, listen to this. So, when do you think... So, throughout the history of basketball, when is one time that you can think of that there was a big jump in the sport?
Like in viewership?
Viewership and popularity.
It had to have been when Magic and Larry came across.
What year was that?
1979. Okay, I was going to say 81. 79.
You know what also rule was outlawed finally in 1976?
Wait, hold on, I don't understand the question.
A rule was in place that was then outlawed. The rule was in place from 1967 to 1976.
In basketball?
For high school and college.
Non-shot clock?
Nope, has nothing to do with shot clock.
It was in place in 76 and then it's no longer in place, is
Correct.
What you're saying.
Correct.
Ooh, that's a good question. What's that have to do with? Give me a little hint.
Let's just put it this way. Hurt Kareem a lot.
I would get probably defense of 3 seconds, maybe? I have no idea.
You couldn't dunk.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You couldn't dunk. So, yes, Magic and Bird come into the league, but at the same time, all these guys are dunking and jumping out of the gym.
Yeah.
So the same way, like, it's probably the same thing. So the Curry thing has only really been around for, like, he really took off in 16. right? So we're talking 8 years that this has been a thing. And frankly, there's only one guy that's still like him. Nobody else, everybody else can shoot, but nobody's like him.
Yeah.
So every other girl can shoot, but nobody like her.
Right.
So that's kind of that has to be a big part of it.
Yeah, I agree. It's the style she plays at. Like even her first shot.
Once people get used to it, though, man. Once people get used to it, it'll drop.
It was impressive to see how physical the Dallas Wings were with her to try to like throw her off.
Knew it.
But she still had a couple moves that were like, man, that's pretty sweet for a rookie.
She was a little
but
less efficient
also
than you wanted her.
Do what?
She was a little less efficient than you would have wanted her to be.
Yeah, she also didn't play third quarter because she was in foul trouble. But she also is very personable. She's very well spoken. And I think Curry's very well spoken as well.
You know what both of them also do? They golf.
But my point is, how do you make that personability and that likableness or whatever into golf? Because you can't do it. They're so focused for 18 holes that you can't really do that.
That's one of the things that. That's one of the things that kills Scotty. He is just the most wonder-bred, white-bread, boring person. And some of it's great. And he's a great human being. He stands for a lot of great things. But at the same time, nothing's better than the Tiger roar and the Tiger pump.
Oh.
Like nothing. It's the great... Like, dude, when you do something great on a course and you give it the... Rah!
Yeah.
Like, dude, actually, you know what I bring out? I bring out on the golf course Mike Breen.
Oh, yeah?
Like, we have a loud putt and something in... Bang!
Yeah.
Let's go! Like, that's my go-to celebration.
What I've got Willa to start doing is when she shoots on her little hoop or she's even, like, throwing a ball around, is when she throws it, she'll be like, Kobe! Because that was such a thing when we were in high school to say Kobe.
Dude.
And I was like, man, we got to bring that back. So, yeah, that's what we're doing. So, so I don't know. I think that the LPGA could make a push with this girl. I really do. But, I mean...
She's not doing something... She's not the winning part of it, but there's not a part of what she's doing.
Right.
It's hard, dude. Like, it would take somebody...
50-foot
100-yarders every single time. Like, yeah, I'd watch every save. If she was just getting birdies by chip in every other hole, I'd be glued. Like...
Yeah, you're right. I mean,
But golf is like, you don't really have excitement because it's just about, like, you hit a drive, but, like, nobody's going to be longer than Bryson. Like, I'll tell you what they need to do more of, in my opinion, is, and there is part of this that's to Live, but Live just doesn't have the format, is team games. Like, the Ryder Cup is always amazing. Yeah. The Ryder Cup is, like, the number one thing that I want to go do next, which I think the next one is in New York.
And I think there's but there's a learning curve with the Ryder Cup, too, because of the scoring.
Dude, it's so easy. It's so easy.
But it's not just
that's
simple.
What we're doing in 3 weeks at my golf outing. We're having
But it's not just as simple as, you go and it's your score, which is the common fan, what they're able to watch. So
Do you understand it?
Yeah, but I had to look at it. I didn't just watch it and get it. I had to like read how the scoring was done.
Yeah.
But so there is a little learning curve. But yeah, you're right. I mean, I
think you just tell somebody it's like
anybody else. But the way he plays and everybody loves, because I think, and what you're saying is in 1976 dunking, so the viewership rose. But what happened over the next 30 years, 40 years, 1976 to 2016, everybody could dunk. You have everybody in the league could dunk. So then it became so everybody could do it. The one that raised the bar.
No one cares. Here, think about this. No one cares about the dunk contest anymore.
No, but the last one and the greatest one ever was who?
Vince Carter.
Yeah, and that's so he kind of did it at a level you didn't see done before because of how creative he was.
Michael probably gets a little bit more of that. Him and Dominique and But then Steph Curry comes around and he does something that has never been seen before, the way he shoots a basketball. So I guess it'll be interesting to see as this next generation comes up of these Steph Curry watchers. And I don't think anybody will ever be able to shoot the ball with that, but maybe a lot of people become better shooters. So then it's like, what's going to be the next thing
that really, brings people to the games.
I just think, there was a garbage technical called on Ant during that game, which, they had a side-by-side of Jamal Murray getting fouled and shooting finger guns at the defender who didn't get a tech. And we talked about, the parents and stuff like that. Officials are big babies, too. Nobody's there to see you. Nobody cares about what your name is, anything like that. Like Scott Foster and the other guy that teed Tim Duncan up when he was sitting on the bench.
Are the worst.
Yeah, oh my God. Oh, dude, if I ever see... Dude, it's the Aaron... Or not Aaron Judge.
Angel Hernandez.
No. Well, yes. Manager for the Yankees. Aaron Boone.
Oh, Aaron Boone, yeah.
Aaron Boone, I don't know if you saw it. He got ejected the other day.
From the fan yelling.
Dude, that ref should be kicked out of the game. There should be a replay center. It was like, hold on, we have it on video. He literally said nothing. You're suspended for 10 games. You don't get to make a living.
Yeah.
I
think baseball is the... Don't quote me on this, but I think baseball is the only major of the 4 sports, which you throw hockey into that with football and basketball. But I think baseball is the only one that those umpires' sole income is baseball.
Yeah.
Like, basketball officials have other jobs. A lot of them do.
Which I think they should do. I think they should have that the opposite way. It's like they should have a union and do it full time, and it is hard to get into, and you have to apply, and then you have to go through training. There should be it. But also, we just made the game too catered so much toward offense and less physicality and stuff. And I was talking to, some young kid about LeBron and, coming into the paint and stuff. If the Pistons did the kind of stuff to LeBron that they did to Jordan, we were talking about guards. We were talking about small guards, right?
Yeah.
And we were talking about, and I was like, I forget what small guard they were talking about, but they were saying he was way better. And Isaiah, they said Isaiah Thomas was trash. And I was like, well, this guy wouldn't be able to get to the rim because they would hit him 5 times and he wouldn't come back. That's a real thing. That I just
think his highlights are insane. He would hurt people.
The one that he did on Bird, where Bird had finally had enough, and on the floor just goes at him, that's too much. But when you see a guy try to go for a block and it's he hits the top of the guy's head while he's trying to go for the block, right on the way through. Oh my gosh, that might be a flagrant too.
Yeah.
How possible? And it's
so incidental.
Get out of here.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
And replays make it worse. That everything can be reviewed. It's everything can be reviewed except for the stuff that needs to be reviewed. Obvious out of bounds calls early can't be reviewed, but every foul can be reviewed. So I don't know. I agree. I don't think, and you and I have talked about this, I think it was last week, that human error needs to be a part of the sport from referees, but not so much that it changes the game completely. And if you are talking about human error, replays of flagrant fouls shouldn't be on there because you're taking the human error out of it at that point to be able to view it.
Guess what? All those 80s amazing viewerships and 90s amazing viewership stuff of Jordan and Magic and Bird didn't have any of that.
Yeah.
Didn't have any of that at all. Frankly, the European game doesn't have a lot of that because they don't want to slow the game down. The game is meant to be played at a very fast pace. They have different timeout rules. They have different everything. So, yeah, man, I am all for, you can't call a timeout. Unless it's a dead ball and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, and baseball is obviously worse, but
I'll be reporting live from Valhalla next week, everybody. I'll be there with. Yeah, it's definitely either you would think Scheffler or Brooks. Frankly, it's one of their twos to win.
Do you need me to give you our YouTube password so you can
I'll do a
YouTube
couple clips.
Live?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying go to YouTube Live.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, I'll do a YouTube Live from the. I'm sure Valhalla will kick me out initially.
I'll sleep on it. All right, let's. Do you want to do the draft next, or do you want to do our game next?
I hate our draft, so let's go game. Because we still don't have a good draft, in my opinion.
Yeah, we're still thinking.
I'm completely fine with skipping.
Drafts. We got to do a draft. We do a draft every week.
You know what?
Rec League Heroes. Greatest slow pitch softball players of all time.
You know what? You know what Jake asked me on the pod?
What's that?
He asked me my all-time Underwood coach only starting 5 at Georgetown.
Oh gosh, man, we could do that. I think
would really like to hear yours.
I think we need to bring in like 4 people that really know Georgetown basketball. We'll bring in Underwood and Dad.
Think about yours. Think about yours for 2 seconds. Like if you're just going off the top of your head.
Brian.
Logan Hayslip at the 1.
Obviously. Brian at the 1.
No. Brian was coached by your dad.
Oh, Coach Underwood.
Yes, only Underwood.
What was that? That was Young. So
I think Brandon was. No, Brandon wasn't.
Brandon was Dad. I would go Young at the 1.
You're not putting yourself at the 1?
No. I would go. Let me get the 5. Who I'd go? I would go.
Okay.
C. Schultz, Young, Jess, probably Jake Cropper, and maybe Isaiah. I think that's who I would go. So I would go Young at the 1, Jake at the 2, C. Schultz at the 3, Jess at the 4, Isaiah at the 5.
Can't believe you didn't pick yourself.
No.
I will say this.
Better than me.
I will say this, and it was controversial. Cropper didn't make my team.
Dude, I should.
And I
just
love
on off chance
Cropper.
Cropper sees this, I shouldn't pick Cropper because I think his head gets big sometimes, and I got to bring him back down to earth.
I will say,
I don't know
Jess.
who I would put. I don't know any of the recent guys either.
So I made a list, and it was you, Jess, C. Schultz, and then I was up in the air, and I had forgotten Young. I made a list and forgot Young.
Yeah, that's because he didn't start you when he should have. So he's easily forgotten.
Yeah, never mind. Actually, I recant him in my starting 5. Clearly, yeah.
So yeah, I'll go Young at the 1, Jake at the 2, C. Schultz at the 3, Jess at the 4, Isaiah at the 5. That's what I didn't
make my team either.
Who was your 5?
I don't want to say 1 because you're gonna make fun of me.
You went small ball?
Well, I went small. I went much smaller ball because I forgot about Young. So my 4 that I liked a lot. My 4 that I liked a lot, and once again, this one is really out of left field, and I was in love with his game a little bit. Jake Miller, I thought he was better than Cropper, personally.
Well, it depends if you're looking for what you're looking for in that aspect too.
Yeah, which was hard because I took you too, and I was like, man, they're both guards, and that makes us small. Because once again, what's my thing? Size and length and athleticism.
Yeah.
So like, C. Schultz. I might have taken. Who did I not take instead of Cropper then? I don't know.
If you took me, Miller, and Jess, who were your other 2? C. Schultz.
C. Schultz.
Jess,
and I think it
C.
ended
Schultz.
up being Young.
Oh,
I went real small because I forgot him.
Yeah,
but honestly,
Isaiah's killing.
Huh?
Isaiah on the boards is killing everybody in that lineup. Everybody. Okay.
Jess would have done a pretty good job.
I played with everybody in that lineup pretty much.
Jess would have done a pretty good job on him.
Yeah.
What do you think Ike Wade is senior year?
That's a good question. He was probably was he 230? You think he was 230?
I'm trying to go off like what Jess, because Jess was like 210.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I mean, in high school ball, especially Georgetown, nobody was like a giant except for Brian. Brian's been the only giant that's come across like that was like a legitimate. We've had some 6'5", 6'6" guys. I'm not saying that.
Noah
Brian,
Pack was 6'7", like he was,
but Brian was the only one that was like played like that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
No,
Pat could have been 6'5", and you wouldn't have been able to tell the difference.
Yeah. I mean, what was the difference between me at 5'6" and 6 foot? I mean, there was like, it's not like I went to go rebound. Like there's no difference in me doing it. So
yeah. The Jake Miller is a very controversial pick, but I watched him play one of the
biased because you trained him, right?
That's not why. Let's be really clear,
dude.
He was way better
sometimes.
No. He was better.
Very to the point. I
watched him play as a sophomore, and he scored like 38 against Eastern, and it was just one of the better games that I ever saw a high school player play. It was a close, high intensity game, and he did everything, and I was like, this kid's got it. Like, it was kind of like one of those moments, and it's like, so like I saw that, and I feel like his game adapts well today too. But anyway,
I would say I thought they were one of the ones that I thought had a chance to win districts when they were going through, and they never put it together. And they had some injuries. Gage
stopped growing and had injuries, and honestly, their best year was the year prior when they had Brucey. And those guys, and they were, but you got to put it all together.
Which, again, shows how hard it is to do. The fact that, that class never put it together. Brian and his crew, Brandon Young. It's tough, man. It's tough. So let's go with we'll go the Logan X3. I think this idea is really good. I really do. I thought the subject, even though it was fun, the animals way, just to see what you do, but I think that the subjects can be better going forward.
I agree. That's all I said.
I'm really pumped about this week because this is something that a lot of people can try at home or at work, wherever they're listening to us at as well. So the X equals 10 today. So you got to get 10. It's a list of 10. So we're still with 10 strikes. I think I'm going to give you a college shot clock. I'm going to give you 35 seconds because it's a little more thinking than the NBA game. I think that the less, if X equals 5, 24 shot clock. 10, I'm going to give you 35 seconds.
So I have to get 10 things and I only get 3 misses?
3 misses. Still the same. So let me get that set up. And I'll give you a second to start thinking about it. So don't rattle them off yet because I'm not ready. The subject is the states with the highest population. The 10 highest states with the population. Okay?
Are you ready?
So I'm pumped about this because, Dad and I were doing stuff like this over the weekend with Mom as well. But we were doing square mileage, the biggest. Do you know what? Obviously, you know what the biggest is, right?
It's either New York, California, or Texas.
No, I'm not saying population. I'm saying area.
Oh, Alaska.
Yeah, and Texas is second. Texas. It's like double. Texas. It's not even close. And Texas is huge. But anyway. Yeah. So, all right. So I got the list. I rounded them to the closest 500,000, so I can give you how big they are as you go. So as you guess it, I'll give you a second to listen to me, and then I'll reset the shot clock so you don't have to do it rapid order. All right? So you're on the clock. Go ahead. California is the most with 39 million.
Just let me know when you're ready.
All right, go ahead.
Texas,
30.5 million. That is second. You're in order, baby.
New York.
New York is fourth with 19.5.
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania is fifth with 13 million.
Illinois.
Sixth with 12.5 million. You know you missed third, right?
I know.
Okay.
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts? Is that where you're wanting to go with?
It was.
Massachusetts is tiny, dude. All right, sorry.
I know, but it's a very populated area. Did I just miss that?
Yeah, Massachusetts is a miss.
Florida.
Florida is third with 22.5 million. Shot clock is reset.
Georgia.
Georgia is eighth with 11 million. Shot clock's reset.
Ohio.
Ohio is seventh with 12 million.
So how many I got left?
You got 9 and 10. Shot clock's 1. And you only got one strike. 20 seconds.
Minnesota.
Minnesota is not on the list, and that is strike 2. You got the top 8. I'm pretty impressed.
So let's say, hold on. Can you tell me what I've said?
You have said California, Texas, Florida, New York, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Ohio, and Georgia.
I'm taking a real shot in the dark here because you want to talk
You
about
only got
somebody.
one strike left.
I know, but you want to talk about somewhere else small. I just can't think of another one. Yeah, I'm just going to take a shot in the dark. New Jersey?
Oh, dude. I'm not going to give you a strike because New Jersey is 11th. And I'm really impressed that you took a shot on that. So I'll that's a foul tip. Foul tip, you're still playing. Shot clock's still going because I'm impressed. I would have never put New Jersey that high.
I'm trying to think of stuff on the coast because I don't think it's the Carolinas. I'm starting to wonder about Virginia. I haven't guessed Indiana. Guessed Illinois, Massachusetts, Minneapolis.
12 seconds.
We start talking about out west. Because, I just don't think, I don't think Colorado's there. There's just too much.
Need an answer. Shot clock's up.
Colorado?
Colorado's not on the list.
Okay. Was Virginia one of them?
Nope, Virginia's not. One of them is on the East Coast, and you just mentioned them, and you said, I don't think it is, but it is.
Oh, Carolina?
Mm-hmm. North Carolina is 9th with 11 million, and 10th is one of the northern states in the Midwest. So you said Minnesota, that was close, but it's a little east of that.
Oh, Wisconsin. Yep. Damn it.
No.
It's not Wisconsin?
No. First off, it's a little more east. I did say east. I'll give you credit. I did say east. So Minnesota, Wisconsin is a little more east of that.
I'm literally pulling up a map right now. Screw Michigan.
Michigan.
Screw Michigan. Who cares about Michigan?
You got 8, dude. And you really got 9 out of 11 because I was really impressed you got New Jersey. I would have never guessed that because of just the size.
I was just thinking about where people are just packed.
Yeah, because it's right by New York City. I get it.
Because I was thinking Boston, you know what I mean? That was kind of the reasoning behind that.
I guess that makes sense why you guessed Massachusetts then. California, Texas, Florida, New York, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Ohio, Georgia.
I wouldn't have got North Carolina.
And Michigan.
I would have thought Virginia would have been higher than North Carolina. Missouri's probably bigger than people think.
Dude, what's crazy is when you look at that list, California's out west and Texas is out west. Everybody else is out east.
Dude, so it's so funny. This is part of my work thing. We basically, and it's something that we talk about, it's most of our business is everything east of the Mississippi, but we also have strong bases in Texas and California. It's okay, I covered 90% of it.
Yeah. My business, I guess, is right now college basketball. In D3, so Division III schools across America, I don't remember. I'm sure Texas is in that. I only remember California, but Texas makes sense. But 95% of Division III schools are either in California or east of the Mississippi. Whole area of everywhere else.
You know where a great basketball player has never come from?
Never?
Wyoming.
Dude, and I'm not... People are big on Josh Allen, and he was a Wyoming kid.
No, he's not.
I don't know if he went to school Wyoming. I don't know where he's originally
from. Oh, no,
from.
I'm saying born and raised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime I can talk about Josh Allen not being great, I'm going to take that opportunity because I think he is so overrated. He cries about every single touch. Dude, it's football. By the way, did you see that they okayed the caps? The practice black padded caps? They can now wear those in games.
Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't. If they're meant to protect you during practice, it's like, okay, why wouldn't we protect each other during games?
Yeah, I just, I can see purists being really upset about that.
Who cares? Like, that's the dumbest thing to be upset about. You know what,
CTE
purist, you're right.
Real thing.
Purist, you know what we shouldn't have? We shouldn't have face masks. They didn't have it when they first started playing. Dummies.
Dude, that's when men were men. Just give me
when men were men.
Pads, a leather helmet, and let's
you
just go.
You went in at halftime, you smoked a cig, and you drank a beer.
So, let's... I think this draft is going to take a while, now that we just talked about...
Yeah, because I do want to talk about... And I want to let you go on something that you are a long-held believer on, that you believe that I missed my calling in life.
Yeah. So, for those of you who don't know, and I didn't know this either, but you wanted to do it early, like when you were still living in Georgetown.
I blame Cody Jodry. So, I should have been Nate Shot. I easily could have been Nate Shot. I'll put it out there. We're around the same age. Nate Shot.
Oh. I thought you were saying Ninja Weird, and I got really confused just now. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah,
so,
go ahead.
When I was 5th or 6th grade, I remember telling Cody Jodry, it's because YouTube was just starting to happen. I was like, hey, dude, we should do that. We should put our clips up and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's just clips. You don't even have to live stream.
No, nothing like that. My earliest influences were Hutch. I still watch Hutch to this day. Hutch is and C-Nanners. C-Nanners was a big thing. And there's so many old school YouTubers. That's how far back I was wanting to get in. Now, they were doing it as adults, or early adults. I was trying to do it at, 10, 11. But I was... Go ahead, I'll let you...
Well, first off, you know how much your mom would... your mom would have been...
Would have supported it.
Oh.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have... Mom, I need this on the internet by tonight. Okay. Done. Yeah.
Dial up. It's going to take 7 hours, but...
Dude, she would have learned it. So, yeah, I've always said that your calling was a video game live streamer. Or a streamer, not a live streamer.
It's not what you initially said. You said professional player.
Level of play? Dude,
yeah.
You and I can play the same game, and I can dedicate a lot more time, and you can just pick it up and be so much better than me on the fly. But it just goes to show that, okay, I don't know, have I told you about my feelings about
athleticism doesn't go toward hand-eye coordination?
Have I ever told you my feelings of the quote that talent or hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard?
Yeah.
Have I told you my thought on that though?
I could work way harder than LeBron James. It's never going to matter.
It's so it's the dumbest quote because you're setting up kids for failure in that aspect. Okay, if I work hard, that I can do this. No, you can't. And you're right, correct. If I decided today, I'm going to dedicate 3 years of my life to basketball every single day, and LeBron today says, I'm retiring, I'm never touching basketball again. And in 3 years,
he will
10-0.
beat
10-0, he wins.
Easy.
It's easy. Well, I worked harder than him. No, it does not matter because
if you and LeBron were born
always matters more.
If you and LeBron were born at the same time. Now, having said that, what we're not thinking about there is LeBron worked incredibly hard to get where he was.
Yeah, but T-Mac has always talked about how he never worked hard. He's I was naturally gifted enough to do that.
Yeah, he's one of the rare ones. You know what I mean? And he's
to get to the top where those guys are, you have to have an incredible work ethic and be incredibly gifted.
Insanely talented.
I'm not saying that, but to make kids that are not gifted athletically believe
we're
that
talking about your average people.
Yes. So I've said that it could cover a gap. So if you put everybody on a scale of 1 to 10 on how athletic they are, and there's this 6, a scale of 1 to 10, he's a 6. Hard work at 4 could maybe cover that gap. A naturally athletic 4 that works hard could maybe get to a 6. But a naturally athletic... I would even
go as far to say 7. I would even go as far to say 7.
3. I could get on board with a 3. But a naturally athletic 10 to a hard worker at 1, they're never covering that gap.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
My point to this is I think you are one of those people that are on that 8, 9, 10 scale of video games. Like, that's how naturally gifted you are at video games. Because I've never seen anything like it.
I just enjoyed it so much. And it was just another form of competition. And it's so funny because now, I took it, and it's the same way that I am with golf, right? Like, I want to have the best equipment that's tailored for me. So, like, how many people, when I was playing with it, had elite controllers and scuff headsets and, setups, direct dial, like doing everything you can to be as good as you can. Today, every kid has that. It's so much more available. So the gap there has shifted. So, if I was a 7 and another kid was a 6, I seemed like a 9 because that kid didn't have that stuff.
Right.
So, no, but I said it as long as anybody will listen. Like, that's something that was like, put a video game in my hand. Like it's hard, like, kids these days. It's like, shut up, Grandpa. It's like, dude, I literally would have dusted you so incredibly badly that you would have quit
you were double
game.
tapping on Halo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're getting demolished. I was dolphin diving, slide canceling, drop shotting, doing all that stuff before you understood what it was.
Right.
Like, and I, once again, I do sound like the oldest man in the world. But what I'm saying is, like, the coolest clip that I've still ever think about. And once again, you talk about, like, taking so much time off. Like, when we were playing Fortnite, even when I was playing Fortnite all the time, I wasn't playing games the way I was back when, in my late teens, early 20s. Nowhere near. I'd had kids and everything.
Spent days on it.
Days. But, dude, the level that I was at when new Call of Duties came out is I would pick it up and you start playing at midnight, and I literally would, like, plan out my sleep. Like, to play, I'm playing 12 hours. I'm going to sit here and not move for 12 hours. I'm going to get 8 hours of sleep. And then I'm going to play for another 20 hours. And then I'm going to get you, like, that was, like, we planned that out because it was like a race to get all the stuff and just dominate and figure it all out.
Prestige. Yeah, man. Like, and it shifted a little bit when you started to be able to download the games and whatnot. But those midnight releases where you go to GameStop and pick up the game, the digital or the hard copy.
I don't know if you remember. Fun. Do you remember me getting called out at GameStop for a midnight release of Black Ops 1? Me and you were at the GameStop in Beachmont, which is right down the road. I think it was Black Ops 1. From the thing, and they had it set up where you could, like, jump on and play and stuff like that. And some kid called me out and got 21-7. And it was just one of those. You were with me.
I don't remember being there with you when you get called out, but that's awesome that you drop that dude.
Thanks.
Like that. The one time I remember where I realized, like, do what?
Clinton?
No, that was really funny too with Halo 3. The time I realized, first off, I've known for a long time how good you were, and I've always realized, like, okay, he could be a streamer. But then it's like we're talking with inside jokes, like, does everybody really appreciate 100% what we're saying, or some of it inside jokes, right? When I had that, like, come to moment of, like, okay, Logan really is like he's that guy at video games, is when Pokemon Go came out.
Ha!
And you and I are going around playing, having a good time, and then there was, like,
it was a dark time.
The big boss. I don't even remember. Like, I never got into it as much as I wish I would have, because I think it would have been fun, but I just never got into it because you also had to pay some money to really get into it. I feel like.
Oh yeah.
And you went to, like, where the, like, what were those things called? Like, not boss
raids.
Battles. Yeah, the raids. And we went, and people were already there, and we got out of the car, and people were like, Logan. I was like, oh man, this dude is like a Pokemon master. Like, he really is like that. Like, that's when I realized, like, his video gaming is different than anything I can do.
Mine was actually, I went to go help my wife with a kid, and you guys protected me in like a blown up house in Fortnite. And I got back,
Yeah.
and you and Ryan were like, "Logan, we're dead, and there's 3 people, or there's a whole team coming right at you. Good luck."
Yeah.
What'd I do?
You
20-something
clutched
kills, destroyed that entire team, won the game. You guys literally sat there for 30 minutes.
And that was before you could reboot. So, like, once you were dead, you were dead. So me and Ryan were Dundee.
Waiting the entire game, and
I think it was before trios. I think we were 3 people playing in
against 4, yeah. I remember that clip still exists.
Gosh, we need to release that. All right, so we're doing a draft of our favorite video games of all time.
My favorite, I will. Things got interrupted.
She's excited for, like, when's the next episode dropping?
She's like, I'm listening to your 3-hour podcast with Jacob. So funny.
Yeah, I hear you. That is why she's calling you. You're right. It's 11 p.m. Your mom, you're a working man. Your mom doesn't know that.
I hope she's okay. I hope she's okay. I hope my mom's not being murdered and I just hung up to. She'll love to hear this podcast in heaven.
We lost our biggest fan because
she actually just said sorry that was an accident.
Okay, so we're doing video game drafts. That's what we're going after. Man, I'm pumped about this. This is kind of something we just came up on the fly.
To be fair, you have to be very specific.
Yeah, but there's also some, and we'll talk about it when they get drafted, but there's some that you can't be specific about. Like for instance, Fortnite you wouldn't base on different seasons.
No, and I don't want. Once again, I want this to be really clear. My favorite games that I ever played, I also think you should only be allowed to take one of a franchise.
I agree.
Okay.
Because we're both going to take a Call of Duty.
Yeah. We do need to do... And no board games, because I would take chess, and like Monopoly, that's no...
Yeah, no board video games.
Yeah.
Do we want to make it so it's single player and multiplayer, or just multiplayer online stuff?
You get the entirety of the game.
So since
if it has single player, it has yes.
Okay. All right. Do you want to? Are we flipping a coin, or what are we doing here for first
rock
pick?
paper scissors?
Dude, our technical difficulties, I hope, do not make it into the final cut. But you're delayed, and your video screen is very, very fuzzy to me, which I think it will be all fine. But if technical difficulties last over episode 8, even though the content is great, the video is not phenomenal.
I'm trying to think of a cool way to do this, but I don't have anything.
Are there any games going on right now? Do you want to play even odds?
I got a good one.
Okay.
And I'll be able to show it to you. I'm just going to grab... Okay. I have a golf ball in my hand that is 100% numbered 1 through 4.
Number 1 through 4?
Yes. So I won't obviously make you pick 1 through 4, so even or odd.
Even or odd. Man, you strike me as arrogant enough that, like, I'm only going to play ones. That's the only thing I'm playing.
Time out. But no, because I don't want to make it unfair for you. This is a special group of balls that are all 1 through 4 that I won't touch because they have, like, special stuff to them. So they are evenly, there is 12 out of what I grabbed, and there are 3 1s, 3 2s, 3 3s, 3 4s. These are not balls that I will ever hit.
Yeah, I still think you're, like, the arrogance.
I don't know what's in my hand, to be fair. I'm being, like, dead honest with you. I didn't look. I grabbed it.
My gut instinct says that it's 1. So I'm going to go, don't show it to me yet. I want to pick odds because that's but you've talked so much about it, it almost makes me want to change my mind. But I'm going to go with my initial gut instinct. I'm going to go with odds, specifically number 1. I can't see it. Oh, yeah, I can. Hold on, move it over. 2. Titleist 2.
I tried.
You tried
So
to
so it says team Titleist. When I went out to Arizona, they gave us those special balls. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what else I could have done there.
You begged me to take it. I mean, are you deferring or are you taking it?
Oh, I'm taking it. Wait, you don't? Do you get the next 2 or?
Yeah. Snake like always. It's like a Family Feud, pass or play. You always play. Like, you never pass. Why is that even an option? Have you ever seen anybody pass? Once. No. I've seen one time somebody pass.
Halo 3.
And it cost them. It cost them when I watched it. Like, they lost because they passed. Because
did you not hear what I said?
2 or 3?
No, I said Halo 3.
Oh, Halo 3. Well, yeah. It cost
Halo 3.
With Family Feud.
Yeah.
Because
Halo 3
somebody's
is
going to get the obvious option.
You just won't let that go.
No.
God.
You never pass. You always
Anyway,
play.
Halo 3 was my first real, because I played online Halo 2, but Halo 3 was like the first game that I became addicted to and grinded in a way that is sickening to this day.
Did you ever get to level 50 on any of them? I never did.
Kind of question is that?
We didn't in quads. We tried. We didn't get there. What did you get in level 50 on?
I got 50 in quads.
Not with me, you didn't. With me,
Maybe
you,
not.
Jodry, and Jess were playing, I think.
Yeah.
I really, and I'm sure they changed it because people could manipulate it, but the competitive
ranking system they've ever had.
Rankings of Halo 3 is the best.
The best they've ever had. And people try to do it today, and it's like so complicated. It's like, nope, not complicated at all.
Yeah, man, you always play people to your level. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. We won more than our fair share. But
and yeah. I mean, when you're playing at that level, you're playing some really good players.
Right, dude. When Ryan and I were playing, and I was playing a lot, like a couple seasons ago, like a lot, like daily, and we were playing, and there's this name that flashed up, and I'm like, man, that name looks familiar, and it was Sancho West. Does that name strike any? He's Nick A30's duo partner.
Oh, yeah.
So Ryan and I were playing duos, and Sancho West, and he wasn't playing with Nick at the time, but he was playing with somebody else. So I'm like, that can't be the same Sancho West. So I really quickly got on Twitch, and I caught the tail end of him killing me, and I'm like, I'm not at this level. Like, this competitive balance is awful.
Why is this guy with me? Yeah.
Man, Halo 3. I might as well. I didn't even put that on my list of potential draft picks because I'm like, I'm either going to
get the first pick and take that,
or Logan's going to take it.
Yeah.
I think Fortnite's obvious right here, but I don't know how soon you take that. But it cost me with the other guys last week, so I'm really scared about that. Now, here's where I'm going to go. I think this one is what I'm talking about. Like, there's different versions, but it's different versions of the same game. So I think you have to, it covers all of them. So I'm going to go with Pokemon Red Blue.
Oh.
Yep. That one hurt you, didn't it?
Yep. Yeah, because red was mine.
Yeah.
I've always been a red guy.
So was I. Jess had blue. I had red.
Cody had blue.
Such a the best Pokemon game to this day is that red, blue, yellow.
Yeah, I keep waiting on what I don't understand and what I wish they would do is just a game that encompasses from start to finish every game.
Yeah.
I would play that today.
Yeah, well, I mean that's why I was asking like is because that's obviously not a multiplayer. I mean, you could plug in and trade and battle your friend or what, but that is a very solo driven.
I did play. I had a Nintendo Switch for a while, and they came out with Let's Go Pikachu, which was literally just Yellow remastered and remade on the Switch. Loved it. Had such a good time. And then they came out with Sword and Shield, and I played that, and I just don't know so many of the Pokemon. Like, after, like, Generation 3, I really don't know too many, except the really popular ones.
I could... That might be a good Logan X3, name some of them, because the original 151 I was pretty good with. And then I could
definitely get over 100.
I was on board with the next 100 when it went up to 251. It was silver and gold where that was that next.
Yep.
But then after
Ruby
that,
and Sapphire,
it just became too much.
Yeah.
It became a lot.
Okay. Well, that makes my next pick really easy.
Nope. Well, you gotta wait for me. We're snaking.
Yep. Yeah, I do.
Really easy, man. Maybe I should. See, I got a few Halo 3s, obviously.
Because I'm going on my list. Like, I'm not playing to win this with the masses, because I could try to do that. But
yeah,
games that hold a special place in my heart.
I want to make sure I'm not.
Oh, and I get the next two, don't I?
Yeah, after me. This is a game which there's another one coming out. See if I get a reaction out of you. No reaction. There's another one coming out. When these games first come out, I finish the story mode with as quickly as humanly possible. I'm going to go with Grand Theft Auto 5 on this next one.
Okay, all right.
I love the Grand Theft Autos. 6 is coming out eventually, but GTA 5 is where I'm at right now.
Okay. So I'm going with the original.
Are we going 5 or 10? Because I think we could easily go 10.
I would rather do 10. I would rather do 10.
All right.
I'm doing the original Modern Warfare. My introduction into Call of Duty. Still one of the most fun when they remastered it. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
The MP5, the AK-74U, the M16, the M4, the 50 cal, the M4A03. I mean, that game is some of the best maps that they ever came out with that they still bring out in new Call of Duties to this day.
Yeah.
That one. High Rise is the one. Well, there's a couple different ones, but so I get 2, right?
Yeah, get one more.
Mario Kart.
Oh, that was on my list.
Yeah, dude, the original Mario Kart with the battle places you go and try to knock off the 3 balloons are like my favorite thing of all time. There's that one that is just the 4 different colored squares. That map. Oh my gosh. I play that today until my hands bled.
I Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo.
Switch. Mario Kart for Switch was great too, dude. I
still think like all those fall into the Mario Kart.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's different from Call of Duty.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. Okay, the next one, I'm going to give you a clue and see if you can guess which one I'm picking. Screen cheating.
It's got to be Call of Duty. That's what I think of.
No. N64. Buddies are coming over here getting GoldenEye is my next pick.
I was just a little bit too young.
Were you?
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, when did GoldenEye come? Like,
GoldenEye is my next pick. That was
97. I was 5. I was 5 when it came out.
I want to go on record right now, and obviously this is something that's going to live forever. How many people see it will remain to be, but I'm going on record. I did screen cheat from time to time.
I did too. I screen cheated too.
I want that to be known because you had to deny in the moment when you're.
It's impossible not to. It's impossible not to.
Screen cheat? No, you're screen cheating. Yeah. See, I think that. I don't know, man. maybe we should put all Call of Duties, because I'm going to wait and draft at 10th now, because there's no way that you can pick it because you've already done a Call of Duty. It almost like gives me leverage to do it. But again, we're going based on what we really like. So am I screen sheeting, or am I going to do what I really like? I just
because there's one other Call of Duty that is more new that was one of my favorites as well. We talked about it. But you wouldn't pick that one anyway.
No, I wouldn't. I think I'm going to go with... Man, Pokemon was such a good pick.
Yeah, it was.
Mario Kart was a good pick too, though.
Thank you.
All right. Just so we don't have dead air, I got to go quick here. My next win is going to be Fortnite. I'm not going to... I feel like you're going to start to get to a point where you take it... Because you did enjoy it for a while.
That honestly, that was going to be in my next selection, so I'm a little disappointed.
Yeah, so I'm going to take it off the board here. All right, you got 2.
So I'm going to go really... Talk about off the board. I played every single one of these. I 100%ed a couple of them. Not a multiplayer game, by the way. So the first, solo story game, but I will pick the second one. Batman Arkham City. I loved that game. That is still one of the best iterations of Batman ever created. I'm a giant Batman fan. Gosh, that game is fun.
Yeah, it always looked fun. I never played it for whatever reason, but it always looked really fun.
Oh, it's really fun. What is the...
Does it have all the villains in that?
Oh, yeah. Every villain, pretty much. Yeah. It's amazing. Arkham City is dope, dude. Arkham City is... It is really... I mean, I'm looking at IGN's top 100 games of all time. It's 61.
Yeah.
So, now, there's... Let's see. What are some of the shooting games that I've played recently that I really enjoyed? I know there's that Tom Clancy. What was the game I was playing before that I just got sick of? I'll tell you what I'll take. And this is just another one that I went down a deep, deep rabbit hole on. And I'll just give a number, or I'll just give the name FIFA. I love FIFA. It's actually my favorite sports game.
Yeah, FIFA's a good one.
Yeah.
I enjoy the Football Manager, more than I enjoy actually FIFA.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yep.
I like the general manager aspect of some video games. I think Madden does a really good job of it. Did you ever play Cyberpunk?
No.
I didn't either. But they said it was highly sought after. Okay, so next I'm going to go with... I think I'm going to go with a game that was really, really fun for a while. It was like a party game that you could play with your friends, and it was when we first came out. And
bowling and stuff like that? Wii Sports?
Wii Sports.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Wii Sports was really fun when it first came out because it was new. It was that interactive that you hadn't seen in a video game before. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my Call of Duty. And I'm going to do Modern Warfare 2 is where I'm going to go with. That was the one I enjoyed the most.
You are going to hate this next pick so much.
Oh, gosh.
No. You're going to hate that I thought of it.
Oh, it's... Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
This is super deep cuts. No one will care about this except me and you. Because we probably played this video game together more than any other game that isn't a multiplayer shooter.
College 2K.
College 2K8 with Greg Oden on the cover.
Yep.
We would play the coaching career mode and recruit and do that for hours.
Hours.
Oh,
Dude, that's
my
why
gosh.
it was kind of like why you never got into What If Sports with us. Always kind of like surprised me because it was the same idea. Now I get it. It's a lot slower and you're not actually sitting there with your friend, but
yeah,
the college recruiting aspect of video games, and they're coming out with college football in the fall.
I know.
Good pick.
Remember how good we got at like shooting, like the mechanic and stuff like that? It would just be ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like Peter Griffin when he's playing Cleveland. Corner three.
Corner three. Yeah. Okay. Well, I kind of have to take this, and this is just for Jess, and I hope you just send him this clip. Old Super Nintendo NBA Hang Time.
NBA Hang Time. Hang
time. Me and Jess went through and would do the entire thing where you never lose and you go through everybody and stuff. Gosh, he was it was Clowney and Basketball Head. I was Clowney, he was Basketball Head. Created your own character and started running through everybody. I was the passer. He would just I think that's when I just go up and then you're getting ready to kick it out.
Yeah.
God,
3.
we literally would be like, he'd have 108 points, I'd have 50 assists.
Dude, we were playing that one time. That was in my next round, by the way. NBA Hang Time was in my next. We were playing, and we were late because you had to beat like all 29 teams without losing or something like that. It was like something crazy.
Yep.
And we were late. We were in like the mid to high 20s. And we were up, I think we were up 1. And the other team hit a 3 with like 1 second left, and we were like so deflated because we had done everything, and then it just happened to be he was the one that was taking, like, because that was so random who took it out and who passed it in. You had no control over that, and he took it out, and I fired it and hit a full court shot, and it did that like little rattle thing where it goes in between the backboard, and it dropped in, and him and I were like running around the house like, yeah, like he tackled me onto the couch and we were celebrating.
Yeah,
it was
dude.
Man, that NBA Hang Time was so fun.
Great, fantastic.
One more Jess story, since we'll kind of like put all those together. When Red and Blue were out, we were playing, and this is when we had bunk beds, and we got when you dive into a game. You dive into a game, so you don't. There's no such thing as sleep. You don't want no shot. So
never heard.
We're playing Red and Blue, and this is again, our younger listeners aren't going to understand this. This is before like back screen light. This is before you could even plug lights in.
You remember when they came out with the one light that you could plug into the top and just shine? Yes. Yep.
So it was even before that, and we were playing in my room. And we slept with a nightlight at that time, and it was my closet light, and it was just cracked. So what we did is we laid on the floor, and one of us was laying by the door and looking under the door because where my room was, you could see down the hall.
You could see,
yeah. So like we would take like 15-minute shifts where one was like playing by the closet, and the other one was like lookout. So I was looking, everything was good. Then he would look. And then I looked again, so we're about 45 minutes into it, and then I'm playing, and I did something, I don't even remember what I did, but I was like this, oh, Jess, and I turned around to show it to him, my dad standing in the doorway, and Jess was supposed to, like, kick me if somebody was coming down the hallway. He didn't do anything. So Dad's like, get in bed, like, he's yelling at me, and Jess always had this, like, every time we would get caught being awake, he'd always go like this, he'd be like, huh? What happened?
Yeah.
I'm like, what happened? My God. Is you left me hanging, man.
You left me in the trenches taking grenades, John.
Right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you got 7. I got 6. Yeah, so I'm up. I got 2 here. All right. I'm going to go with... Now, this is a game that has some sentimental reasoning for me. And
a lot of these have been sentimental for me.
Well, this is the only video game that Meg and I played a lot together. Like, Meg's never played a video game with me, and we played this for hours up in. and it's a new one. It's the Harry Potter Hogwarts Legacy.
Hogwarts Legacy, okay.
Dove into that, and she really enjoyed it. She's actually talked about wanting to do it again. By the way, they haven't come out with it was like one of the most streamed games of all time within like the first 24 hours. And
they come out with nothing.
Why would they not capitalize on that? Like, they've come out with no downloadable content and no second one. So I'm going to go with Hogwarts Legacy. Shout out Meg. And then I think I need to go a little bit old school right here. A game that I always enjoyed, and I never had a Nintendo, so I didn't get to play it, but every time I went to somebody's house and they had a Nintendo, I played this game. And then they're like, "Do you like? I thought you came over to hang out with me." And I was like, "No, I came over to."
Didn't play this game. Yeah.
Is Mike Tyson's Punch Out?
Never played it,
dude. Phenomenal.
I thought you were going in a different direction.
Do you think I was going Duck Hunt?
Nope. It's another great Nintendo game, but my picks: Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Oh, 3. It's got to be 3.
Yeah, three's by far the best. And
that was on my list. I thought I'd sneak it at late rounds.
Nah. There's so many others. Like I could just go more popular. By the way, my preferred GTA is Vice City.
Really?
Oh
GTA 5
yeah. Vice City was dope. And then I was just thinking of something and I just lost it. So give me a second to think a little bit. Man, I can't tell you how much I played like the Need for Speed game growing up.
Oh yeah, Chased by the Cops. Those were so fun.
Chased by the Cops and all that kind of stuff. Love those games.
Great games, phenomenal games.
Oh, that's where I was going. Because it kind of in the Wii style, and I loved playing this because you could get multiple people together. Guitar Hero World Tour, when they introduced the singing and the drums, and I love Guitar Hero too. So,
dude, that was not even on my radar, and that's a phenomenal pick because Guitar Hero games were so fun.
So fun.
I was terrible at them at all times.
I was addicted.
Yeah, you did the drumming.
Oh, I loved it because I just realized I could do some of the guitar on expert, and it wasn't my thing. So I was like, okay, well, I have people that are better at that, but it's like, here I am. Let's go.
All right, you're at 9. I'm at 8. So I got 2 picks to last us out here. Here's where I'm at. My last 2 picks. I got Red Dead Redemption 2 on my list, but I think that's very GTA 5. I mean, it's both Rockstar games.
So, funny story, I never played 2, but loved 1.
You should play 2. 2's even better. 2 is substantially better, and I love 1. 1 was one of my favorite games of all time.
Yep, same.
But I think that's a lot. I think it's very GTA 5-ish, so I want to expand. One I am going to pick right now is The Sims. I always
that was on my list. That was on my on my radar.
And that's kind of a game like Pokemon. I think all the Sims are. I mean, they're different stuff, but I think it's all kind of the same. So I got Red Dead Redemption, which I don't think I'm going to do because it's kind of like GTA 5. So I got 3 older games that I've always come back to them. 2 of them are a little bit easier because you can play them on a cell phone, and that is Tetris and Pac-Man. You can play both of those.
I will tear you up in Tetris.
I love Tetris. But another game that hasn't been hit is Super Mario Bros. On Super Nintendo, and like Super Mario World.
Yeah, I just enjoyed Kart so much better. The original. Actually, I would rather play the Super Nintendo versions than the 64 of Super Mario Bros. I'd rather play just the linear.
Super Mario 64. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Super Mario is.
That's you pandering to your audience right there.
And I don't think it's as good as Mario Kart, so I kind of want to stay out of that world because Mario Kart's better than Super Mario. So I'm going to go with Tetris. Is going to be my 10th and final pick.
I love Tetris.
All right, board's yours.
So I have so many.
So we could have gone 20.
Yeah, very easily. Do you ever play Age of Empires?
Dude.
Loved it.
When you just said Age of Empires, there was so much that rushed back to my brain just now.
Dude,
because like the war games now are just like they're too in depth. Age of Empires was very simple.
Dude, so there was an Age of Empires version of Lord of the Rings. Oh,
Lord of the Rings. That game was phenomenal too.
No, that's not what I just realized. One of my favorite games of all time that I completely forgot about for a minute that I'm going to end up picking because I just remembered it. But what I want to say is it was an Age of Empires, but like you could do it at Helm's Deep and like do your stuff behind Helm's Deep and like have heroes and stuff like that. Dude, addicted to that for a while. What I'm going to pick, once again, there's so many picks. NBA Street 2, like so
2K.
many.
NBA 2K could be easily
So many. What I'm taking. Oh my God! You want to talk about, and the old one in particular, Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know if you ever played that. Like
I did.
Crazy,
I did as much as other first. Well, it was a third person, but.
Well, and then you save up points. It's like I'm a Jedi, and you're just going across the entire battlefield like you're a god. And it's like, oh yeah, I'm Luke Skywalker. What's up? Yeah, that's where I'm going to end up going. I've put a lot of time into.
Now, I will say that I don't see any games on here that I'm like, man, that game's not very good.
We didn't pick Madden.
We didn't pick Madden. We didn't pick Madden or NBA 2K. Which
so
is
let me go off some
stuff
that we could have. Mario Party, I think, is actually better than 64.
Yeah.
I would say Resident Evil is amazing.
And Tekken and Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat, right? So games like we didn't like. I just want to go through a quick list. I played the crap out of Skyrim. I played so much Elder Scrolls Skyrim.
Did you ever do any of the Zeldas?
Nope, never a Zelda guy. Never did. I finally played The Last of Us. The Last of Us was phenomenal. Red Dead Redemption, amazing.
Borderlands, Fallout are both.
Borderlands 2 is amazing. So is 3. Borderlands, dude, I played Destiny. I played the crap out of Destiny. I played all the Gears of War. Really enjoyed the Gears of War.
Such good games.
So good, dude. Especially when they came out with like Horde mode, where you're just, fighting off Horde after Horde and stuff.
Something I about picked and I didn't because I haven't played it in so long, and I almost think that like the nostalgia of how good it was has overcome how really good it was back in the day. Was Oregon Trail.
Yeah, I'm not picking that.
That's your nostalgia. Oregon Trail.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean...
I'm trying to think, like, recently, obviously the Mario Karts. That was such a good pick.
Fallout's so good.
Did you ever do the Far Cry games?
Nope, never played them.
Didn't either. What about Warcraft? World of Warcraft?
So, I did for just a minute. And I mean just a minute. It just... Fun, but not my style, I guess. Yeah.
Fable.
Dude, a game that I love to this day, played both of them, and I can't wait for them to come out with another one. The Division. Tom Clancy's The Division.
I was going to say, I can't believe you didn't pick any of the Tom Clancy games.
I enjoy them. It was something I found later in life is like casual, and The Division is not super casual, which is why.
I'm trying to think. Diablos, did you ever play any of those?
No. We got to be running on fumes on this, though. We got to be getting ready to wrap this up.
Yeah, I got Age of Empires, too.
Age of Empires. So fun. 3 and 2, I think, were like where I spent the most amount of my time.
Mortal Kombat we probably should have hit on.
But I'm not a big, like, standing fighting game guy. You know what I played way more than that was Injustice, when they did, like, their version of Mortal Kombat. Yeah.
Yeah. I liked Tekken more than I liked Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, same.
And we didn't do, like, Alien Invasion or Pong, man. The originals.
Pac-Man. Dude, I played Pac-Man because I love Pac-Man.
Yeah, I went Tetris before Pac-Man because I think I've played Tetris probably more throughout my life.
I'll play Tetris, like, I have it on my phone, and, like, I usually go to chess or Monopoly first as kind of the kick, but I will play some insane Tetris.
So you got Halo 3, Call of Duty 4, Mario Kart, Batman Arkham Knights 2, FIFA, NCAA College Basketball 2K8, NBA
Hey, it's
Time.
Batman Arkham City, sir.
Oh, sorry. Tony Hawk, Pro Skater 3, Guitar Hero World Tour, and Star Wars Battlefront. I got Pokemon Red Blue, GTA 5, GoldenEye 007, Fortnite, Wii Sports, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, Hogwarts, Legacy, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, The Sims, and Tetris. I think
you're gonna win, and it's gonna devastate me because it's not the better list.
I think all 20 of our games are really good. I really do.
Yeah.
There's none of the 20 games, because even like Batman, I hadn't played, but I've always wanted to play that. But I've literally played every other game. I've played all the other 19, and they're all good. They're all good games. So I think it's just going to come down to people's preference, and I think that maybe people will shade towards me because I got the Pokemon Red Blue and I got Fortnite.
You're a little bit older too with Mike Tyson Punch Out and stuff.
Yeah, those are some heavy hitters. So yeah, I want to touch on one question before your sign off question, and I just want to touch on this.
Yep.
And there doesn't have to be a long discussion. I just kind of want to get your original thought on it. Okay.
Yep.
So something we talked about doing Jim Carrey movies, and we'll do that maybe next week because I didn't want to do movies back to back.
Very cool.
But The Grinch is a highly rated Jim Carrey movie, so that's going to be one of our first picks. Whoever goes after it, but something I've always thought would make a phenomenal Grinch 2, or at least a spin-off on The Grinch.
Stop.
Is what?
I don't care. Stop.
Dude, you could even put Jim Carrey in it. But, like...
I don't care. There doesn't need to be... You're messing with perfection. Go ahead.
So you're saying the MCU should be done right now? After Endgame?
You could make a real serious argument.
Except for the printing of money that they don't want to give up.
They're not printing money anymore, buddy. Far from it.
Deadpool 3 it'll be interesting.
Yeah, maybe, but like, I'm pretty sure if you look at the past 10 things they've done, they probably lost money total.
Dude, something else we'll talk about too is how can Thanos can't open his mouth without saying some kind of memorable quote.
Oh, such a good villain.
Dude,
my daughter knows Thanos more than anybody else.
Everything he says is unbelievable. There's some variant coming back of his. Did you see that for the Kang Dynasty? Well, it's not the Kang Dynasty anymore, obviously, because of that whole thing. But it's like King Thanos. It's another variant. But they're bringing Josh. Yeah. How do you say his name?
Josh Brolin.
Yeah, they're bringing him back. Anyway, The Grinch. One thing I've always thought would be an interesting take on another view is, you know how in The Grinch when they're talking about, like, she's like, well, where do babies come from? And they're like, well, he came from where all babies come from. And then he's like, he's stuck in the tree, right? But before that, they're like, well, there was a strange wind that night. And he bumps into who was supposed to go down there. So what I think would be an interesting take is where that, like, who baby went to, like, the Grinch Town version of that. What do you think of that? You really don't think that would be interesting at all?
No.
Why not?
I'm just not here for it at all. Want no part of it at all.
Well, when me and Ron Howard get together and we make that, and you all of a sudden want some creative, because, you know, we have this podcast, and you're like, well, I want some creative intelligence on that, or whatever that would be. I'm not going to let you get into it.
By the way, the Marvels, giant flop. I'm going in order. They made money on Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Ant-Man and the Wasp, I'm pretty sure they either broke even or lost money on. Black Panther did alright. Thor, Love and Thunder, I believe, lost money. Strange broke even. No Way Home was big. Eternals lost money. Shang-Chi lost money. Black Widow lost money. And
but realistically, No Way Home was part of... It was like the last one of Phase 3.
No,
officially.
actually, I'm looking at the phases. Wait, did you say... Wait a minute.
It was the last one of... It was after Endgame. It was the last one of Phase 3.
Was Spider-Man Far From Home the second?
Oh, okay.
No Way Home is technically in 4.
Oh, yeah, that's the one with Strange, right?
Yeah, because the second one, remember, he's dealing with
Not one
Iron Man dying. Yeah. No, Iron Man dying.
Yeah.
In the second, yeah.
Oh, in the second one.
Mysterio.
The third one he once did not be known.
Correct, yes.
Yeah.
And that's in 4.
Okay, gotcha. All right, man.
Yeah.
Well, since you didn't like my Grinch idea, I think we're just going to wrap this bad boy up.
I hate your Grinch idea. I do hate your Grinch idea terribly. I'm going to be completely honest.
All right. Your sign-out question. And I'll say one that is a discrepancy is pineapple on pizza is something that you could go with. But listen to me. I'm not saying that's the one. That's not even the question. My question to you is, what food combo that is commonly liked by people do you think is absolutely disgusting?
Wow, really put me on the spot here. Disgusting is a strong word, but because you put me on the spot, mashed potatoes and gravy.
What?
I'm not a mashed potatoes guy. Like, I can't think of a whole lot of things that I actively put gravy on, so let the hate come and let the hate flow. But yeah, I'm just not a mashed potatoes guy. I'd rather eat a baked potato, and yeah, it just seems like rubbing liquid on something that's already pasty and not for me.
Our fans don't even hate you. I hate you for what you just said.
I can't hear you.
All right, we got episode 8 in the books. It is done. I thought this was our best episode ever. I hope you feel the same way. Jay Chadwell, with me as always, Logan Asa. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Appreciate you stopping by.